Hey guys, I got a request to do a video on the difference between vite and kjenne, and that was a really good request. I thought I knew all about this from before, but when I did more research about it, I learned a little bit more. So I'm going to share with you what I found out on it. Vite is really basically about data. It's sort of something, a fact, or you don't know the fact. You know the information or you don't know the information. Whereas kjenne is a little bit more complicated. It's used when you're describing a feeling, knowing a feeling, or being familiar with someone or something, and it's used kind of specifically that way. So I have some examples here, and there's vite conjugated out, and here's just a simple sentence that I pulled just off some blog from doing a Google search, and this is what I would recommend anybody do, even if you're just in the beginning of learning Norwegian or any other language. If you're watching this for whatever reason, is you take the word and put it in the Google search engine, and all the word will be highlighted. It'll appear in all kinds of different blogs and articles and whatnot. Sometimes you have to go past the dictionary websites, so you may have to go to page 2. But wow, what a great tool! I can't recommend it enough. And then you can, if you can't read yet, or you're kind of shaky with reading, just put it into Google Translate and see if it comes out, if it makes any sense. I'm kind of lucky because I can do that, and then I can ask Norwegian friends, what about this? What about this? Is this right? And whatnot. Double check, cross reference. So, if you don't have that, then of course, if it doesn't make sense, just get rid of it. But otherwise, it's a great way to explore how these words work. And not only that, it's a lot easier to remember them because you're actually involved in the process. Even if you don't know how to pronounce them, you have no clue. At least you can learn what they mean, and then later on, when you hear how the word sounds, you can pronounce it. And so, like this sentence right here, they did not know about it. There's no way this sentence is talking about familiarity or feelings or anything like that. This is cut and dry. So that's just one example. Here is another one. I like this one a lot because it has schoner, which is a third word, which means to realize or to understand. I'll have that one at the end of this video. I'll just go over that really briefly, but it's easy to confuse these two when you hear them. And I guess if you learn a whole bunch of words all at once, maybe and you're not focused in, you might confuse them. There's so much to learn that sometimes when words sound the same, and they don't really sound that much the same, but they you could mix them up, and it's kind of neat that this was in here. But anyway, this sentence is really good for me. I really liked it because this lady is saying that she knows, right? She knows the fact that she's pregnant, but she doesn't get it. It hasn't sunken in. She hasn't really quite realized it, And this is a really good example of when you know these words and what they mean and how they're used. Reading starts to become really fun, and my understanding, even when I read, is constantly getting better. Sometimes when I read, I get really frustrated if I don't know a lot of the words in one sentence or something. I have to go and translate stuff, and it takes a while. It's frustrating because sometimes you can read something and really understand what they're saying, all the subtleties of it. But that's how this lady was expressing that experience. And when you see that, you get a much better understanding of all the words, but especially the ones that you're looking for. So let's keep going here. Here's an example of sometimes what happens, okay? Vitende. Here's the vitende. And when it's combined in this way, the vitende, it means knowing full well. It's an expression. And these are very valuable. Very, very valuable. If you don't know, the more of these you know, the more of the radio you will understand. And when you read, you'll understand it. And there are so many of them. I am always so happy when I figure one of these out. I just found that out when I was doing research for this video. But anyway, so you can see this person knows the fact that they're going to be late for work. They're not feeling it. They're not becoming familiar with it. They know it. So in this case, you can see that is very different than kjenne. So you can start to see it. But don't just take my word or these few examples. And that's why I didn't do a lot of examples in this video, because first of all, it would take forever, and second of all, you can do it yourself. So, okay, I couldn't find the imperative version of kjenne. So, if anybody knows what that is, please put it in the comments. Here's a sentence here, right? The police believe, right? They believe it. They believe, they're not sure, that the driver must be very kjent, right? Must be familiar with the area. So, whoa, maybe it's somebody I know. It's somebody that lives around that place. And so in this case, yeah, the person knows the area, but it's because they're familiar with it. That's just the way it's used. And you just won't see vet in there, I mean, I don't believe you would. I mean, I asked 2 different Norwegians, would vet ever be used there? No, it wouldn't fit. It's familiar. Kjent is really the way, the word you would want to use for that. And what's interesting is here you see, if you combine them with prepositions, just for fun, and I just did this very quickly. I just started putting prepositions with kjent, because I remembered kjent med meant familiar with. I already knew that one. So I put for after it, and then lo and behold, it means known for, And kjent of is known by, like known, kjent of politia, known by the police. Oh my God. And kjenne til, I remembered that one afterwards. That's to be aware of. Kjenne til, be aware of. And it's good to go ahead and combine them with prepositions. Always remember that when you have a verb and you put it with a preposition, wow, it can really change the entire meaning, and the entire meaning of the sentence and everything else. So that's another thing to do when you're exploring around and looking at these different examples with your search engine. And I like I said, do it. Just do it. Okay. Here's kjenner du, right? And that means that's not vet du, right? That would not fit in this sentence. I asked about this. I cross-referenced it because it's about feeling. It's about being aware of, and having an awareness that you're full. And as a bonus here, this person used kjennes, right, which is an S verb. And kjennes is another verb. It doesn't go up here with these. It is a passive verb, and it's used in an active form here. So that's what S verbs do, and they're used all the time. It's like snakkes and motus, and so you can look, you can learn about that. I have a video on that one, which explains the 4 different kinds of S verbs if you want to know about them. Once you start to use those S verbs, they become really sort of easy to use. It's like, wow, yeah, no, you can see why they exist. But we'll just keep going here because, well, wait a minute. I'll just read this out here. The guy or person is asking, how do you know that you're full, right? Hvordan kjenner du at du er mett? And then on top of it, they put in, how does it feel? Like they don't know what that feels like, so they're really asking. And what's interesting is another thing about looking at doing searches on these words and starting to read what people are writing about, you will very quickly realize that it's the same thing that people write about in any language, It's like, and so you start to become, it starts to make the language a little bit more natural when I do it. At least that's what happens with me. So, all right, here's a shona, and this one means to understand or realize. In this sentence here, I kind of like this one. This girl was asking, how can she make the guy she likes, understand it, or how could she make him see that? The big dummy, he doesn't even know, so, which is typical, right? And and so it's this shona is the same, a little bit like kjenne, where it's all about, it has a lot to do with realizing, like taking a hint, or this is kind of a subtle word. I won't go into it. Maybe I'll make a deck of flashcards out of it. But you can see that there are all these other versions, conjugations of the verb, and so it's good to sort of take one at a time and see what's going on with it. That is a very effective way. So, I mean, if you learn the word in your Norse course, if it was anything like mine, the teacher would very quickly, tell you what it means, and then move on. It's much more effective if you go ahead and explore about the word a little bit and see, look at least 5 different sentences, and see how it's used. Okay, so I think I covered it well enough there for now. I have links in the description if you want to learn some more about this. I got a really good link to Info Norwegian, where she explains it really well, the teacher over there. And you can see that video on S verbs explained. So until next time, thanks for watching, and ha det bra.